Enti kakra ye ba ya se ye be ka chemon. Say ye be shemon kra. Na me am ba be tan hon mahwe. Na me ti hɔ no so me hwɛ ezanza mo bo am bobi. Enti ye nyina ye hye ho kra sɛ na ye begye ni monyama me ho nya. Ti na se na mde ma musa mo de mo ho aba afɔde amaga na man. Ani monyam na monyema ye. Ne ye bompa ye so sɛ no so be ye. Ti ye da mo ase papa.
Aje na gogo na kapo na aje na na gogo na aje na kochi na sinya na nuwe gogo na eye ni kapo
It is midweek, and the important thing is that here in Ghana, the Premier League is resuming, and it's resuming rechristened. It's the First Capital Plus League. Of course, this was after that $10 million package was officially presented, or the cash check was presented to the Ghana FA by First Capital Plus Bank, headline sponsor of the Ghana Premier League. And of course, there's big action all over the place as all the big names and all the big faces, all the small teams as well, go up against each other to try to secure very good places ahead of the rounding up of the 2013-2014 season. What are your expectations of your respective clubs as we go into the second round of the First Capital Plus League? You tell me. You get on my Facebook wall, Nathaniel Attoh, Citizen Attoh, and also you can go through 1760, the text code for only 30 Ghana pesos. Michael Essien has also been included in the he's been included in the UEFA Champions League squad, and Michael Essien will be tasting full-time Champions League action for AC Milan. That's very good news. Of course, Michael Essien makes a move to AC Milan after 8 seasons at Chelsea, where he won the Champions League. Of course, he did not kick a ball during the final game against Bayern Munich, but of course, he has that Champions League trophy to his credit as well. So, Michael Essien making it into Clarence Seedorf's Champions League squad for the UEFA Champions League. You send in your messages as we do some more stories here on the local scene here in Ghana and bring you all the international updates as well as what to expect. And PSG, Paris Saint-Germain are in the final of the French League Cup. And the man who made the difference was Zlatan Ibrahimovic. We're telling you about that later on. And so you stay right there. There are stories in the newspapers which I'd like to show you in a bit after this round of commercials. This is Sports Today and is only here on the Joy Sports channel on Multi TV. Don't go anywhere. All right, so let's get into the newspapers, and I've got the weekly sports, the 90 minutes, and the graphic sports. The graphic sports has coach appear to decide, Adams. So goalkeeper Stephen Adams, whose name is on everyone's lips after that amazing performance at the just-ended Chan tournament, says, well, the coach himself will decide whether or not I get to go to the World Cup. Africa, here we come. And Michael Akufu of Asante Kotoko who captained Ghana through the latter stage of the CHAN final against Libya, will also be in continental action. Remember, the Ghana Premier League, now the First Capital Plus Premier League, is on. And of course, Chelsea's win over Manchester City is also featured. And Alvaro Arbeloa is featured here on the lifestyle page. And that is Alvaro Arbeloa off the pitch. Sure does make time for family in the face of all of that, all of the demanding schedules of the Spanish La Liga. All right, now let's get into the center spread. And this is it, action from Europe as Juventus overcame Milan. And of course, that bust-up that Ronaldinho was involved in that game against Atletico Madrid. And of course, a few moments of the Chelsea-Manchester City game as well over there. All right, so we also take a look at a few more stories. And we go to the international page now. And Rio Ferdinand is said to be important. He continues to be important within the Manchester United setup. And Burkina Faso Burkina Faso's coach, Paul Put, is among 31 defendants in a Belgian match-fixing trial. All right, so take a look at those newspapers as well. The Weekly Sports has Jose Mourinho, Michael Essien, who's going to play against Atletico Madrid because he's been included in the Champions League squad. And Mikel Obi has revealed his Russian girlfriend. These are all in the newspaper. And there, John Mikel Obi, life off the pitch, there we are. And in these pictures, he reveals his Russian girlfriend, Olga Dyachenko. Also makes time for his pets as well and his London mansion. All right, so that's John Mikel Obi there for you. And also, on the 90 Minutes newspaper says, under fire Fatal cries, no way for Adam. Competition for the #1 goalie has just begun for the Black Stars team. After that impressive performance put up by the man, Steven Adams, everybody is now mentioning him. And he has to compete against the likes of Fatal Dawda and Adam Lassen Kwarase. There's also a story that suggests that Clarence Seedorf has a special plan for Michael Essien. All right, so that's the 90 Minutes newspaper. Remember, in the meantime, you can start sending messages to my Facebook wall. And remember, it's Nathaniel Attoh, Citizen Attoh, as we resume the league here in Ghana, and it's now known as the First Capital Plus League. That's the man, Mario Balotelli. Sometimes he becomes the bad boy of football on and off the pitch, and sometimes as well he becomes a toast of the fans for the kinds of goals he scores. So Mario Balotelli. So a lot of Ghanaian blood in AC Milan. Mario Balotelli, Sule Ali Montari, Michael Essien. Of course, Kevin Prince Boateng has made his way to Schalke now. So there's still very good Ghanaian representation in the AC Milan squad. Let's hope that Michael Essien is given good enough playing time so it could put him in good form for the FIFA World Cup in Brazil. So let's enter our first set of stories, and we'll be talking about First Capital Plus, the Ghanaian bank that is now the headline sponsor of the Ghana Premier League. And this $10 million package over 5 years was announced at the ceremony yesterday. Let's go for the pictures.
We recognize the presence of God in our midst. On behalf of the shareholders, Board of Directors and staff of First Capital Plus Limited, we are here today to witness God's divine empowerment of First Capital Plus Bank on the decision to sponsor the Ghana Premier Football League, and also to actualize this by officially announcing the package to the public and the football world. Today marks the beginning of a special relationship with the Ghana Football Association and the football fraternity. Mr. Chairman, permit me to say a few words about the sponsor. First Capital Plus is a wholly owned Ghanaian bank, currently with 15 branches spanning 5 regions in Ghana, namely Western, Ashanti, Central, Eastern, and Greater Accra. However, through the use of technology, the bank is reachable anywhere in Ghana. This year also begins further expansion of the branch network by at least 5 branches every year over the sponsorship period. This implies a geographical coverage to other regions in Ghana, not forgetting the expansion over national borders. The promoters started this bank as a trust in 2007. In September 2009, FCP secured a service and loans license and further secured in record time a Class 1 universal banking license from Bank of Ghana in August 2013, a feat which has received commendation from the rank and file of the Ghana's financial industry and the general public as a whole. Our core value is God-centeredness, and the fast progress of the bank can only be explained as the doing of the Lord.
When we have meetings, we fight, we disagree. But we have a strategic collective objective. That objective is to ensure that we move from one level to the other, from one degree to another, from level to level to level. And so because of that strategic objective, we must find common ground, a common platform to work together. That is the approach. And so I'm very, very happy that we are working very well together. And I believe that when people do well, they must be commended. And Kwesi Nyantechi and his team, they took us to the World Cup 2006, 2010, 2014. It is not easy. It is a very, very big achievement. And we need to recognize that. This country, let's recognize people who work hard and achieve. It's not easy. Executives of various football clubs here, the chief executive, chairman, board members, directors, and staff of First Capital. And when I was doing my research, I was told that this bank was built, or is still being built, on the foundation of prayer. And no wonder, and maybe I'll turn into a prophet, that in the not too distant future, this bank will be in every town. Because this intervention came at a very crucial moment.
We are gathered here this afternoon to outdoor a historic partnership between the Ghana Football Association and the newest kid on the banking landscape in Ghana, First Capital Plus Bank. The Ghana Football Association and First Capital Plus Bank have entered into a marital relationship for life. Although it's for life, the initial tenure is for 5 years for us to experiment and wait and see, though marriages are not for experimentation. We are very delighted about this relationship, and we would like to congratulate the board, management, and staff of First Capital Plus Bank for agreeing to sponsor the Ghana Premier League. That decision, I believe, is born out of a good management, good leadership, and foresight on the part of the management and board of the bank. As you are no doubt aware, Ghanaians are very passionate about football, and anyone who decides to support and sponsor football is supporting the passion of this country. The Ghana Premier League has been in existence for a long time, but for the first half of this season, we went without a sponsor. The partnership with First Capital Plus Bank is therefore a timely one. It has come at a time that clubs are in dire need of a sponsor than ever. And I believe the sponsorship will go a long way to alleviate the financial burden and suffering that lies on the shoulders of club owners. It will also go a long way to help club owners and managers to develop talented footballers who will showcase their talent during the Ghana Premier League session. The Ghana Premier League is undoubtedly one of the best in Africa and the world stage. And the recent performance of the Ghana team at the just ended CHAN competition bears ample testimony to the strength of our league.
All right, so we've been having some major reactions from the clubs as well after this this mouth-watering package was announced.
Lamenting the absence of sponsorship for this year's league in the first round. And so this comes in at a very good time. The financial injection will definitely improve the strength of the club as to how well we're able to cater for the needs, our recurring needs, especially with the player motivations. And I believe that for Hearts of Oak as a club, we see it as a sign of good things to come. We believe that the brand First Capital Plus in associated with our football would enhance the brand value of Ghana football. So when it is that a club in Ghana football says it's going out there to shop for sponsorship, a sponsor would say if a company of the stature of First Capital Plus saw it fit to sponsor Ghana football, then these clubs are also worthy of our sponsorship. For me, I'm looking at the unexpected snowball effect of this sponsorship on Hearts of Oak and on Ghana football.
In every human endeavor, you aspire to get more. And in football, where you run a bottomless pit, whatever money you put in goes in there without any returns. If you don't sell players, you don't make any returns because there is nothing to write home. But when it comes to gate proceeds, I think that this financial injection is timely. It's going to boost up whatever we had. You talked about Ashanti Gold. You will be wondering why we should be here. But however satisfied we are with what the owners of the Klaza Global Ashanti is doing, there is a need to inject more if really we want to play in the league, make any meaningful impact, qualify for Africa, and be financially sound to compete with the rest of Africa.
That's what one will refer to. If you look at the kind of impact that this will make into the football economy, we say that it's a very good beginning. All we need to do is to build on what we have received now and ensure that come 3 or 4 years' time, we'll be talking of a larger figure. We need to encourage local entrepreneurs like First Capital Plus who have taken the initiative to consider the passion of the nation and really sponsor it. It doesn't come that easy. Because if you look at the kind of multiplier effect that this will have on us, to quantify it, even in quantitative terms, it's quite a huge money. Do not only think of the kind of benefit that the clubs are going to directly gain out of it. Whenever we are about to honor matches, hotel bills are paid, transportation is engaged. That should tell you the kind of people who are dependent on this to expand their businesses.
All right, so you can get me on 1760. Now, sports marketing boss at Supersport, Sir Stanley Matthews, was here to deliver a seminar or coordinated seminar for marketing the Ghana Premier League. He comes in with a lot of experience with several years handling that position or that aspects of events and all. Well, Joy Sports spoke to him, and we come through with this.
I'll give you the soundbite quick. Stan Matthews, Sports and Commercial Director for Supersport. Supersport launched our partnership with the GFA and the Ghanaian Premier League in October last year. As part of that process, we said that we would have regular workshops and seminars to help professionalize clubs, to make sure that the standards on the field, which are being met by the Ghana players in abundance, in world tournaments, in junior tournaments. We saw in Chan recently that the product on the field is fantastic. But we also have to work very hard on the product off the field. The commercial aspect, the professionalization of clubs, facilities, the match day experience, media, marketing and sponsorship, so that all clubs, not only 20%, but 100% of Ghanaian Premier League clubs should have sponsors.
You've been around for a very short time. I don't know if you've had the opportunity to go around some of these clubs, but what is it that you're going to be doing to make a difference for our clubs?
I think we see the raw ingredients and we see the passion of the Ghanaian football, the public, the administrators, but we now need structure. We need to make sure that the right structures are in place in the clubs for them to be able to deliver a world-class television product, to make sure that they can deliver a world-class match day experience for the fans that talks to infrastructure and capacity building, and this is all part of that process.
All right, in a bit I'll be bringing you the fixtures, but let's just take a listen to what people are saying ahead of these matches that will be played later today.
So we are ready. We prepared using a number of friendly games to build cohesion in the team. My Coach Polo, says that he believes that the level of cohesion he's expecting is coming. He's brought up a few of the youngsters from the reserves, and we have a few new players added to the old stock who took care of the team's output in the first round, and I'm hopeful for the second round.
The ambition is to win the title this year. It looks a bit difficult looking at the gap between us and the leader, 7 points, but that is not unsurmountable. We believe that we have what it takes to close the gap and eventually overtake them.
As you said, before the league, we set a target for ourselves that in the history of the club, we have not been in the top four before. So this year, that's our target. But when the league started, with the gelling of the old players and the young ones, they couldn't gel quickly. So we found it difficult. We lost our first 3 matches, but we were able to bounce back. And with the position we are still, we have that dream of being a top four. And we believe that starting from tomorrow against Adriana will be the dream.
So there we are. Accra Hearts of Oak versus Wa All Stars, and Edubiase versus Adriana. Bechim United play King Faisal. Hearts of Lions, they welcome Liberty. And Asante Kotoko play Dwarfs, while Inter Allies play Mediama SC. Now, Brekum Chelsea play Ashanti Gold. Okay, so, all right, so there are messages on my wall already. This one says, this is from Leo Lopez. It says, good morning, Nat. Is Liverpool still following Yeven in Kono Playanka? And Man U, you cannot make it to the top 4. Liverpool will surely beat Arsenal. Beg your pardon. So, Ikechukwu Kenneth Aja as well has written, that's a good one for Essien. I wish him well. Okay. Beg your pardon. There is more stories here on the show, and we would go to Asante Kotoko, who are set for Ghana Premier League action in the second round. Remember, Asante Kotoko have new recruits Isaac Boachi and Abdul Rahim Ayu, who have slated their readiness to hit the ground running in the second round of the Ghana Premier League. And Asante Kotoko has have received a 50,000 Ghana cedis cash support from Budget Cash and Carry and distributors of Blue Jeans energy drink, for their Africa campaign. Now, acting Kotoko CEO has issues. Now, he doesn't want Kotoko players to be getting on social media. I'm talking Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, everything. Now, what is his reason? He says that is a distraction to the players, and the concentration on social media is much more than what they put in at training and on their game. So, social media is something that acting CEO Opokunti is really working towards eliminating, and he says that is being abused. All right, so also we would talk to Brekum Chelsea director Odro Safo, and he will be talking about the club's participation in the Champions League, the CAF Champions League. Remember that in the last 24 hours, there have been rumors that Brekum Chelsea wants to chicken out of the, the campaign in Africa. They will not be playing in the preliminary round of the African Championship again. So we will take a listen to the man, Odro Safo, who has thoughts on the participation of clubs in the Champions League.
I owe anybody, I don't owe anybody to tell somebody whether Brekum Chelsea is playing in Africa or not. In the first place, you are aware the GFA sent letters to various clubs to accept or reject going to Africa. And Brekum Chelsea, we happen to be one of the teams that qualify for Africa, and we accepted those documents. And as I speak to you, there have not been any communication whatsoever anywhere that says Brekum Chelsea have sent a letter of withdrawal to the FA. So I think that question shouldn't have even started.
You're playing Attoh by a team in South Sudan. We know the challenges going on there at the moment. Are you making any formal request to have the game maybe moved from there?
No, we are not playing them there. We are playing them here. And the 28-man team will arrive in Ghana tomorrow around 10 minutes after 12. So they will sleep in Accra. The following morning they will take their breakfast and then join the Sunyani Amtrak flights to Sunyani, and then they will be pitching in Sunyani. After that, we may leave either Monday or Tuesday from Accra to south to Khartoum, because they have problems in South Sudan, which is Juba. So now the game will be played in Khartoum. So we've made ourselves ready to go to Khartoum to play against them. So there's no need telling CAF to change anything because we are not playing Juba.
It's been a very difficult season for you. You are in 14th place at the moment. You have FA Cup issues. You have the league as well. Is it not going to be a distraction for your club playing in all these competitions and struggling as well?
The year that we won we qualified to the money stage to the quarterfinal or so. If you could have, we can reverse time and then go to see the league table. We're not doing well by then. If you should look at Orlando Pirates, they went to the final, I think so, yes. But as at then, they were not doing well in the South African league. When we are playing in Africa, it's different from when you are playing in Ghana. There are so many things that goes in your favor, the strategies and other things. And we've played before, we have that experience. And also, before we played Ashanti Gold, we told the whole world that that's going to be our turning point, that we were going to win against Ashanti Gold. Unfortunately, we could not win. We had the best officiating, we had a draw. And at least the game we played over there, Kojo Fiano told the whole world that he's surprised we are languishing in that area of the last three. But that notwithstanding, it's nothing to write home about. We've made some recruitment, so we are going to move ahead from there.
There's a message from Contour Andrews. He says, good morning, Nat. Good morning to you as well. Congratulations to the local Black Stars. They did their best, and Chelsea will surely win the EPL. Hazard is the next FIFA World Best Player. Sizeless Madrid all the way, ×2. Okay, Contour Andrews is in Ijira. He sends that one from Ijira. Let's see some more. And good day enough, the original Blues are on fire. Steven Adams should be given a chance to the World Cup. All right, now there's one more message I'd like to share with you. This one talks about Jose Mourinho. It says Mourinho is really the special one. Long live Chelsea. Felix Sefa Ashi sent that one. All right, so let's do some more stories here. And the Ebusua Dwarfs administrative manager, John Emisa, has been talking to Joy Sports about the club's Confederation Cup assignment and how they're going to prepare to take part in the competition.
We are expecting our visitors on Friday. They are here to fully confirm whether coming or not. We've done all that is necessary, the groundworks, hotel, transport to Cape Coast, referees, PTA, everything has been done purposely for the Sunday match. We are here to hear from our visitors to confirm the exact date they are getting to this country. But we have done all the necessary arrangements. We know per CAF conditions you are supposed to expect 25 member contingents. And we have done that. We've reserved their hotels and everything for them. And so we are only expecting them. Whatever hour they get here, we are ready to pick them from the airport.
The first round of the season did not go well for your club. You currently lie in 15th place. Don't you think that the CAF Confederations Cup will be a distraction for you being involved in too many competitions on less budget?
I believe seriously, if you look at what we did for the past 2 seasons, gives us some ample experiences about how to turn things around, looking at where we are lying. And I can confidently say today that from what I have and from what we have done so far before getting to this day of the month, which is 4th February, it's enough. We've turned things around. Well, there are some few bottlenecks, and which I believe before Thursday, Friday, we should tighten all those things, and that will give us a strong go to the CAF Confederation Cup and then a continuation of the League 2 as well.
All right, so there we are. Let's take a look at some more stories here. And the local Black Stars are finally in town. This comes after they won that silver medal at the Chan tournament, which just ended in South Africa. Let's take a look at the images.
Granted, in our local league, some fouls are just left unchecked. Other things which are no fouls are whistled for as fouls. I believe as individual players, they've learned a lot. I don't think anything went wrong. Everything went well, of course. There are always lessons to learn. I do not think anything went wrong. Well, I keep hearing that argument, but I believe we don't need to stampede the coaches of the Black Stars to take decisions. Let's leave them. Fortunately, Coach Kwesi Appiah was there with us throughout the tournament, so I believe he's seen them well enough to make decisions on them. I cannot single anybody out. I think all of them did well. All the 21 players who got the opportunity to play played very well. I was quite impressed with all of them. Steven did well. I think he did well. Where he had to come up, he came up to save the team on a number of occasions. He had a good tournament, I'll say.
I should say I was very, very impressed with the organization of the tournament because if you look back at 2010, the sort of standard the South Africans took the World Cup to, it was described as the best ever World Cup that was ever organized. And I would say that they maintained the same standard for this tournament. A lot of people would have thought that the Chan competition would have been deemed as a second-rated competition. So in terms of organization, they would have lowered the standard. But seriously, they did not lower the standard in terms of security, in terms of accommodation, in terms of media facilities and everything. They didn't lower the standard. They maintained the same standard for the 2010 World Cup and the 2013 African Cup of Nations. So I should say the organization was perfect. But that shouldn't be a surprise to football lovers, because everybody knows South Africa's organizational ability. But for me, what was a bit surprising was the fact that they did not treat this competition as a second-rated competition. They attacked the competition with all the seriousness it deserved.
I would say it was great because I myself have never played in such a big tournament before, and it has given me a lot of experience. So I thank God for that. This job, we deal with a lot of crowd, and if you're a player and you always see crowd and you are being intimidated, I don't think you are not going to go far. So it was normal for us. As such, we play in a very big stadium in Ghana, in Kumasi, and Accra, with a lot of people in it. So we were not intimidated at all.
When Joshua Tijani missed his penalty, what was going through your mind?
I think it's normal. Even the big stars sometimes spoil their penalty, and I know what God wishes for us is to be in second position in that tournament. So we were disappointed, but all the same, we did well because most of the Ghanaians did not trust us to win this tournament. So being second in this tournament, we thank God for that.
All right, so James Antonio says, good news for SCN and the Black Stars, and I hope that he justifies his place in the first 11. In addition, my team Hearts of Vogue are coming strongly as the second half of the league commences. This is Phobia. Okay, let's see who really becomes the master of this season's Premier League here on the show. Remember, this is Sports Today and is only on the Joy Sports channel on Multi TV. Now, what is this I hear about the man Asiedu Atobra, who has rejected a move to Turkish side Fenerbahce? So there we are, Asiedu Atobra, and he claims that he nearly signed for Turkish Giants Fenerbahce after excelling at the 2014 Chan tournament. And now the man, Michael Essien, he will taste Champions League action, play at the highest level for AC Milan. And the 31-year-old who joined the Rossoneri last month on a free transfer was not registered by his former side, Chelsea, in the group stage. So Essien's availability for Milan will be crucial as head coach Clarence Seedorf with compatriots Sule Muntari and Ricardo Montolivo suspended their round of 16 match against Atletico Madrid. Now, the Ghana international was on the beach, and last Saturday, Milan drew 1-1 and was on the bench, I beg your pardon, and Milan drew 1-1 with Torino at the San Siro. And sad story, the Ghana striker, former Ghana striker Arthur Moses is expected to lose 3 houses, and the court has unanimously ruled that ex-Ghana striker Attoh Moses give his divorced wife 3 houses as part of the divorce settlement. The former Marseille striker confirmed last month that his ex-wife was in court asking for more, despite building 2 houses for her and another mother. Now, his divorced wives claim that he deserved the compensation package because Moses prevented him from working during his playing time. Now, Moses, team manager of the Ghana Premier League side, Brecum Chelsea, has not seen his kids for the past 5 years and intends to carry out a DNA test as soon as he sets eyes on them. So, sad story, trying times for Arthur Moses indeed. Now, okay, the coach of Barnsley, Danny Wilson, says that he will defend, he has jumped to the defense of Emmanuel Frimpong, who was sent off on his debut for the club over the weekend. Remember that Emmanuel Frimpong had to be sent off, was given the marching orders after a very, very rough tackle. So keep your messages coming in. We'll be doing some more stories later on, and I'll tell you what the president of the Ghana Boxing Authority is also saying after Usman Adame's loss to Gennady Golovkin at the weekend. So this is Sports Today. You stay right there. There is more to come, and don't touch that remote control. So we do some more stories, and CAF has revealed that no CHAN bids have come in for the year 2016, the Africa Cup of Nations. So no teams yet to come over and say, okay, so we want to be headline sponsor, or we want to be in charge of sponsorship for this tournament or that tournament. Let's also focus on Cape Verde, and Cape Verde has lost the final World Cup appeal. Remember, they played against Tunisia and used an unqualified player, which also meant that they were going to be banned from the tournament and the qualifying rounds. And Sabri Lamucci says Ivory Coast can trouble the big teams in the world. And he says this as we build up to Brazil 2014. Now the Nigeria and Ivory Coast will play in a series of warm-up matches in the United States that will also be a feature World Championship in Spain. Also, we focus on Jonathan Petroipa to forget about the failed move to Stoke. Now, Africa's most valuable player currently of Burkina Faso, Jonathan Petroipa, he insists that he will not dwell on his failed transfer to Stoke from Rennes on deadline day. All right, so Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire are also going to be playing some friendlies in the U.S. ahead of the FIFA World Cup now. Major League Soccer is organizing the Road to Brazil event, where 8 teams will play matches across Africa, America, and 27 between 27th May and 10th June. Greece, Honduras, Bosnia, Herzegovina, and the other World Cup teams to have signed up. Bolivia and El Salvador are not going to Brazil, and they are also involved. The Major League Soccer will announce its details of these matches later on. So all these 2 teams, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, are making sure that they're doing a tour of the U.S. before the tournament begins. You just saw President Vladimir Putin there. Now, the major issue we've got here is that of boxing as well. And lawyer Peter Zuenis, the president of the Ghana Boxing Authority, says that Ghana needs to turn attention to a younger and new set of boxers for world title honors, because the current crop of big-name boxers in Ghana are just not delivering. And this comes on the back of the loss that Usman Adama suffered in Monaco at the weekend against Gennady Golovkin. And he's been speaking to Joy Sports about his concerns and what he also thought of the fight.
Class, but I was quite worried about, the way he fought and his commitment to the fight. I've watched Usman Adama previously on countless occasions when he was in Ghana, and even when he fought Daniel Gill and all that. And I just couldn't figure out what was going wrong, because it was so unlike him. I do concede that Golovkin is a much more formidable opponent and all that, but I thought that his output in the fight, his commitment to the fight and the way he fought, I thought there were questions about that. I'm not in a position to, jump to any conclusions or, I think that I would rather, get him to tell us what precisely happened on fight night before I can make any, definite comments about his performance. Yeah.
You certainly didn't come to terms with the sort of Adama you saw in the bouts, with what you know about him.
Yes. That is what really baffled me, and I was wondering what had gone wrong, because he seemed quite determined when we spoke to him to put up a good fight and to prove the pundits wrong, but I think it all went wrong. The script went all wrong.
This has extended our quest to have a world champion in boxing. It's something the fans are craving for.
Well, as I said, it appears our older breed of boxers may not be able to, get us the World Championship we are craving for. So that means that we just have to fall back on the hopefuls, those we are hopeful for currently. As I told you, there are a breed of very young fighters, most of whom are holding these intercontinental titles and all that. And I believe that given the right guidance and management, they should, in the next year or two, get to the very top to be eligible to fight for world titles. And by that breed, I mean, boxers like the Sami brothers, Patrick Kaluti, Richard Comey, Frederick Lawson, Manu Plange, George Shi, Emmanuel Tego, the whole host of them. I think that we just need to keep on pushing them and harnessing their potentials in the hope that one of them will be lucky enough to clinch it.
With Adama.
We heard the voice of the president of the Ghana Boxing Authority, lawyer Peter Zwenis, and you saw the bout as well, excerpts of the bout that Usman Adama lost to the man, Gennady Golovkin. Okay, so let's do a bit of football now. And during the period when Ghana, the local Black Stars, were playing at the Chan tournament, it was also rumored that the Otumfo, the king of the Ashanti Kingdom, had passed on. But he made an appearance at the local Black Stars camp to inspire them ahead of the final. So let's take a look at the visit, exclusive to Joy Sports.
Otumfo said to the second distinguished Honorable Minister, Your Excellency Ambassador, Management Committee for the coaches, for the technical team for Acquah, players, journalists in Central for. I am a Nije Bibri say, and yet me shower her. Yeah, Papa, yeah, Nana. Otumfo said to our Tosumino, a timid to Quayafi, Johannesburg, Abeduha, said, or Beshamun crying. Now yet me a din kunim and enumere or Libya for so. Na Tim Yasam way here and a pa. Then beer, much beer, Bobo beer, or Freddy Sassam, what to say, or wish him well. Na I may other woman, much beer, so you didn't kunim. Until Otumfo say, Fana match in a day, I saw no a 200 Mombeshe match. But before, because stadium, I said, Obeshiamo. Na onemo edim komona oka in crashes some tremo. Third match na Jordan enyaye. Fourth match ena yaya say nya biem. Nti when you two man of you kind of man of Titi a ebe to safre owura Elvis Afriya. Honorable Minister.
Winning. Imani salute. Salute Imani Ogbo Imani minister. Minister Imani laughing. Imani salute. Salute Imani president. President Imani Ogbo Imani laughing. Imani champion. Get Imani na Imani salute. Salute Imani 2-4 Imani all. Imani Africa.